people don't know, but you got into a fight with the entire nation of France.
Yeah, I did that. There was a guy. The club I own is a French club, and there was a guy while we were doing our show at the Place des Arts. Someone told me they were like, there's a producer named Kader Aoun. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, Kader Aoun or whatever.
Arab. That's how it's pronounced.
It's just called
Just
Arab. But this guy was in my club because he manages comics and
French ones.
Yeah, and he's the guy that brought stand-up comedy to France. But the way he brought stand-up comedy to France is he'd go to New York and buy like bootlegs of Def Comedy Jam. And so that's why all of the early French comics, if you look at them with subtitles, they're all Arab dudes that pretend like they're black. And I always wondered why Arabs in France pretend like they're black. But it's because the comics were like they'd see Chappelle or they'd see I don't know Steve Harvey in those days, and they were like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that.
But they would lift the actual jokes.
Yeah, they'd lift the jokes and they'd lift the persona. And there's a guy named Copy Comic. That's not his name, but he's kind of undercover, and he's trying to expose all of these fucking French pieces of garbage. So one of the masterminds of the whole thing that he used to give all the jokes, all the people, was at my club. So I got really angry, and I texted the manager of my club, and I was like, I want him out. Throw him out and tell him he's never allowed coming back. And then he was like, okay, he's out. And then my manager's so nice. I was like,
Ali?
Shal. Ali, I don't even have his phone number. But Shal, I was like, Shal is so nice. He wants everyone to like him. So I was like, I'm sure he was polite when he threw him out. So then I just tweeted. I was like, if anyone is associated to this guy, you're banned for life from the comedy club. And then I had all these...
It started a whole thing with French media, with French comics in France and stuff. People that I don't care about, like I'll piss on them. So I thought it was funny, and then I realized how big it was getting. And it was during the Just for Laughs festival, which coincidentally was at the end run of the French side of Just for Laughs, which had comics from France and from... So it was starting a shitstorm.
And it was weird because there was this one French comic that came to see me, and he was like, you're starting a war with France. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then he was like, look, but he goes, you said anyone associated to him. And he goes, I've played his club. And I was like, look, I couldn't find his Twitter handle on Twitter. So if you give me his Twitter handle, I'll erase that tweet, but then I will fucking multiply my hate and my fucking vengeance on this piece of garbage. And so he gave me the Twitter handle. And Sugar Sammy was there. And then Sugar Sammy was like, you shouldn't erase that first tweet.
Yeah, fuck him.
So fuck him. So I just started tweeting. Like, I was drunk as shit. So I remember I tweeted, you're banned for life from the club. Then I don't remember tweeting. I wrote just his name is a small piece of garbage. And then like an hour went by, and there's a comic here in Montreal named Eddie King. He came over to me, and he goes, this fucking guy just, he since you banned all of his comics from your club, he's banning anyone that's ever played in your club.
He steals
from
jokes,
his club.
And he steals reactions.
Yeah, exactly. But then I got angry, and I just tweeted, I was like, okay, this fucking guy, if he thinks this is like a East Coast, West Coast thing, he's going to find out I'm not Tupac, I'm not Biggie, I'm fucking Snoop Dogg, I'm unkillable. And then I did hashtag I'm from Park X, bro. Because all week, and I'm not from Park X. Park X is the neighborhood we're in now. And you and Poseidon were always like, I'm from Park X, bro. And Poseidon had the best thing when I was like tweeting all my shit and I was angry. He was like, what's going on? And I was like, this fucking asshole, he's stealing jokes. And he was like, well, me go break his legs, bro. And he was serious.
He was serious, yeah. He would ask me, he's like, do you know where this guy's staying? I'm like, I don't know anything about these French people.
We should have. It would have been amazing if Poseidon had broken his legs. Just to see
to send him back to France with broken legs.
Piece of garbage going back in a wheelchair. But so I was tweeting shit. The guy never answered. But this guy he used to have a bunch of deals with Netflix because he was like a major French producer. And the night after tweeting all this shit, the next morning I had it was supposed to be a meeting with Netflix. Then I found out it was a brunch with Netflix where where they meet everyone they don't fucking care about. So they put me in with them. So it was all of the comics from France and all of the producers from France and all the comics from French Canada and the producers. So I was there and I was like, I'm going to fucking see this guy.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to fucking fight. So I go in thinking I'm going to fight this piece of garbage. And it's a brunch. So I was like, okay, I'll see what I can eat. And since I'm vegan, there was nothing I could eat. The only thing that was vegan were mimosas. So, and this is like 10 in the morning. So I'm like, and I'm diabetic. So I was like, I can't drink too much orange juice. So I was just drinking champagne. So I had like 3 glasses of champagne, like in a row at like 10 in the morning. And this woman comes up to me. And she's a French comic that just got a Netflix special. Because they like... It's international now, so like
Whatever.
People that have been doing comedy for 9 months are getting Netflix deals. So she comes up to me and she's like, "What you did was really bad for relations between Quebec and France." And then I just said, I don't give a fuck about France.
There we go.
I said, "J'en ai rien à chier de la France." And then she was like, "What?" And then she was like, "You should be afraid though." She was trying to use like sort of gangster rap techniques, and she was like, "You don't know who this guy is. This guy's like a gangster." And I was like, "He can hurt you." And I was like, "He can't hurt me." I was like, "You can." I have nothing to lose, and I don't care about France. So I was like, and there's nothing more dangerous than someone that has nothing to lose. And then she said, "No, but he can get physical." And I was like, if this motherfucker and I did it there. I did the line again. If he thinks I'm fucking Snoop, if he thinks I'm Bigger Tupac, he's gonna say I'm Snoop Dogg. I'm unkillable.
But then the champagne.
Yeah, so I had my glass of champagne and it was empty. So I just turned it over and dropped it on the ground. Like I dropped the mic.
But you thought it was gonna bounce.
And since it was thick carpet, I thought it was gonna bounce. It was gonna be funny, and I'd be able to go, "Look, I'm not that gangster." But it just fucking shattered, scared the shit out of everyone, and everyone kind of left. And even me, I was like, "God damn, what the fuck? What the fuck?" And then I was just trying to kick the glass underneath the table so that they wouldn't kick me out of the Netflix party.
It's too fucking funny. That was the
fun.
Netflix brunch, that one.
It was a Netflix brunch, and the Netflix guy that I know, Robbie, that he's like
a good guy.
He's a very good guy, and he's the big boss of Netflix, of not Netflix, but of specials. So whenever you see a special, it's always produced by Robbie Pra. So he comes over, and I had told him about this fucking French thief the day before, and then he came over to with his sort of underlings. And this guy's name, like I said, the French guy is I was going to say fuck. It's Kader Avouin. So they come over and they're like, yeah, I had told them that I filmed 2 specials. And they're like, what's the name of the English special? And I was like, it's Infamous. And they were like, what's the French one? And then I was like, it's called Fuck Kader Avouin. And then they were like, what the fuck? I was like, nah, just kidding. But
fuck that guy.
But fuck that guy. And then when I got home, I got a message from Copy Comic who wrote me. He had heard nothing of this. He was like, did you hear that Kader Avouin guy lost 5 Netflix deals?
In the millions of dollars altogether.
Yeah,
This
so
guy lost millions.
Because France, like even though France is... comedy-wise is a shithole country, there's still 50 million people. So if they're giving like Chappelle 20 million, that means that a big French guy is probably getting maybe 2, maybe 4. I heard Gad Elmaleh got 5 for his. So if this guy was producing 5 specials, that's like fucking at least 10 million.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy.
Yeah, fuck that asshole.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
We don't stand for joke thievery, Mike.
We don't.